Did you know there are two Britons? One is London and the other is the rest. London is richer than ever. Record property prices, foreign investors queuing up to buy everything, luxury towers rising out of nowhere, tech companies hiring globally, banks paying six-figure bonuses like it's normal. And then you travel just an hour outside London, literally an hour, and suddenly you see a completely different country. Boarded up high streets, closed down factories, slower trains, wages that haven't moved in years, talented young people leaving because they feel they have no choice. It's almost like Britain is a country with two universes that barely touch each other. So today we are going to dig deep into that story, not with jargon, not with boring textbook economics, but with honesty and clarity. Because London didn't just get rich, London broke away from the rest of Britain. The rest of Britain is still trying to make sense of what just happened. To understand why London looks the way it does today, you need to step back and look at the forces that built it. The first one is obvious: finance. In 1986, Britain unleashed something called the Big Bang, a massive deregulation that basically opened London to the world's financial markets. The city went from old school, closed door, old boy networks to a place where American banks, global traders, and multinational firms could move in without resistance. Hong Kong money started pouring in, Middle Eastern investors followed. European firms saw London as the most convenient place to operate. And later, tech companies set up shop because they wanted to be near the capital. London wasn't just a British city anymore, it became a global safe deposit box for money. And here's the key part: London kept everything, the other regions kept nothing. When the financial sector exploded, it didn't create satellite financial hubs in Manchester or Birmingham. It didn't build corporate headquarters in Leeds. It didn't create high skilled clusters in Newcastle. All the talent, all the firms, all the money went straight to London. The funnel had been formed. The timing couldn't have been better. Just as London deregulated, the world globalized, trade exploded, movements of capital exploded. Wealth became mobile in a way humanity had never seen. And London offered something no other European city could match: English language, world class legal system, time zone between US and Asia, strong property rights, financial depth, open borders for capital, cultural magnetism, world class universities. So, if you were a billionaire from China, or a fund manager from New York, or an energy company from Qatar, or a tech startup from Europe, London wasn't just an option, it was the default. And here is the part nobody likes talking about. The more the world globalized, the more London grew, but the more the rest of Britain struggled. Because when money can move freely across borders, it doesn't choose Doncaster, it doesn't choose Hull, it doesn't choose Sunderland, it rarely even chooses Birmingham. It chooses London. Now, globalization explains the inflow of money, but it doesn't explain why only London benefited. That's because Britain designed its entire economic system like a London amplifier. Here is what I mean: infrastructure pulls everything into London. Roads, rail, airports, they all point inwards. Political power is centralized in Westminster. Local leaders have almost no real authority. Scotland wants power, Wales wants power, the North wants power. They all keep asking because they don't have any. Investment decisions are made in London, by London, for London. If you're a big company entering the UK market, where do you go? London. Not because the regions are bad, but because London has proximity to power. Britain never developed a multi city model like Germany. Germany has Munich, Berlin, Frankfurt, Hamburg, Stuttgart, Dusseldorf. Each one has a genuine powerhouse. Britain fell in love with finance and forgot industry. While Germany protected manufacturing, Britain let it collapse. Entire regions lost their purpose. And so the identity of economic power kept tightening around London until London wasn't just the biggest city, it was the only global city. There's another force that made the divide even bigger: talent migration. If you are 21, ambitious, and living in a smaller British town, where do you go? Where are the best paying jobs? Where are the global companies? Where are the opportunities? It's London. Every time a talented young person leaves their hometown for London, something small dies in that town. And this creates a loop. Talent leaves, companies stop investing, town declines, even more talent leaves. It's a self reinforcing downward spiral. But nobody blames the young people. They are doing what they have to. The system pushed them there. This is where the emotional part kicks in because the divide stopped being economic a long time ago. People outside London feel ignored, they feel unheard, they feel left behind by decisions made for someone else's benefit. London feels like a bubble, a world of private schools, foreign investors, and luxury towers, while their world feels the complete opposite. This resentment fuels political anger today. It will fuel tensions for the next decade. The country isn't angry at London, it's angry at the system that made London the chosen one. Now, here is the twist: London's rise made Britain dependent on it. But what happens when London slows down? And it is slowing. Finance isn't booming the way it used to. Post Brexit, regulations moved trading to Amsterdam. Startups are choosing Berlin, Lisbon, Dubai. Foreign investors are more cautious. Skyscrapers are slowing. Hiring freezes are appearing. If London sneezes, Britain catches pneumonia because the country never built a second engine or a third or a fourth. Germany has six, America has 20, Britain has just one. People love asking, could Manchester be the next London? Could Birmingham rise? Could Edinburgh become a financial powerhouse? Here is my honest answer: yes, but only if Britain lets them. You need infrastructure, you need investment, you need decentralized power, you need companies to actually build there, not just talk about it. Right now, London is the gravitational center. Everything orbits around it. Break that gravity in the right way, and Britain becomes a multi engine nation. Don't break it, and the divide becomes permanent. The next decade is going to be decisive. Remote work means people didn't have to be in London. AI means productivity can rise outside major cities. Tech hubs are forming in unexpected places. New industries, biotech, renewable energy, advanced manufacturing don't need to be in the capital. This could be the moment Britain rebalances, but it won't happen accidentally. It needs vision, it needs investment, it needs courage, it needs the political class to admit something very, very simple. A country cannot thrive when one city carries the weight of the entire nation. London didn't steal the rest of Britain's prosperity, but the system was designed so that London would win and everyone else would survive on whatever was left. And if Britain wants to stay united, peaceful, prosperous, and competitive in the world, it has to do something it hasn't done for generations: give the rest of the country the chance to shine. Build more engines. Let the talent stay where it is. Let regions rise, not just survive. The question now is very simple: will Britain rebuild balance, or will London continue rising while the rest of the country quietly slips away?